13-yard gain there to set up a 2nd and 7 for his team. Back into Bishop's territory. Toss to Reed. And Reed's got room to run as he fights his way close to the first down about the 37-yard line. And you get the sense that Western's starting to take control of the line of scrimmage.
Well, the run game is really having an effect on that right now. They're starting to get their big people in there. They run toss again. Good lead blocks. They get both guard and tackle. Gleason and Jude St. John around the corner. A nice block by Craig Young. And, you know, the play doesn't look like it gets much, but it's gaining about 8-9 yards per carry.
Another first down for the Mustangs, thanks to the big people up front. Spot the ball at the Bishop's 36-yard line. Western led this game early on, but has not since. The fullback, Peter Glab, gets across the 35 to the 33, spotted as a gain of 3 yards.
You see, that time they try to run trap, but they bring Stuart Beek, the tight end, down on the linebacker, Georgitsis, and Georgitsis is just too physical a player to allow the tight end Beek. And he steps in and makes a tackle against Peter Glab. One thing the Gators felt was that Western would not have seen a defense as physical as Bishop's this year. I don't know, that Laurier defense was pretty physical. They have 5 or 10 fifth-year players on that team. They fake the toss to Reed. Now Golding trying to find a receiver, throws over the middle. There's all kinds of contact in the end zone. No flag, it falls incomplete as they were looking for Sandy McGregor, and the Western bench apoplectic that there's no penalty call. But Troy Russell back there on the coverage, and the pass falls incomplete. And Western might have a point. Well, Troy Russell is covering Sandy McGregor now. He has his back to him, so he doesn't know where the ball is. He's trying to play off the receiver. I think that was pretty good defense. And actually, McGregor had a chance to make the catch. He had it in his hands. Tried to cradle it into his body, should have reached out for it. Nice isolation. And Russell might have got a hand in there late to just take that away. Now we got a Frank Jaggis field goal attempt from the 40-yard line. He has struggled today, 0 for 2. Gets it up and puts it through. And for the second time in this game, the Western Ontario Mustangs lead the football game. 27-24 is the score in the third quarter. That has been all Mustangs, and there are 37 seconds left in the third. Rod?
Well, Gord, for years, Sam Abbott was the equipment manager for the Bishop Gators. Before that, the athletic director at Bishop's College. Not only that, a member of the 1944 Grey Cup team with Navy that will be honored coming up in Vancouver. Sam, first of all, about this game, your thoughts?
I don't know what to think right now. I'd just like to suit up and go out there.
Well, you'll have the chance to take the train trip from Calgary to Vancouver coming up Grey Cup week. How excited are you about that?
It's just awesome. I can't tell you how it is. I'm just so delighted that we're all going to get together again. 50 years is a long time. Some of the boys I haven't seen since we left the Grey Cup in '44 in Hamilton. So I'm looking forward to that.
How much has the game changed since you played?
Oh, it's changed a lot. For the better, I guess. For the better, the equipment, not so, it's just wonderful.
Thanks. Have fun, Grey Cup week.
I think I'm going to. Thank you, Ron.
There were 3,871 people at that Grey Cup game. There will be significantly more to honor them in Vancouver. Now 1st and 10 for the Gators. From the 35, and the pass is incomplete, looking for Ian Crawford. And Bishop's passing game is misfiring in the run and shoot. Well, they're starting to bring a lot of people now, Western. They're starting to bring their linebackers. They're bringing Mark Lawson, who's also playing some defensive back and linebacker. The kind of pressure that they're putting on Trevor Lovick right now is forcing him to throw the ball a little bit sooner than he would like to. And this should be the final play of the third quarter. 2nd and 10 for the Gators from their own 35. Lovick, this time lots of time. An open receiver, it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Van Gastel. And the turnover parade continues as Van Gastel gets down to the 40-yard line on the final play of the third quarter. And yet another turnover. Van Gastel with his second interception, and that is a 4th turnover in the third quarter by Bishop. And that was just a nice job. They're mixing it up in their coverages. Come with man, now playing a little bit of zone. They're really confusing Trevor Lovick right now. Looked like he was man, he drops off, plays zone. Comes up with the interception. If the first half was a nightmare for Western, the third quarter was worse for Bishop's. The Mustangs lead 27-24. with the fourth quarter to come.
You can tell a lot about a man by his shaver. The man who uses a bra and flex control appreciates good looks, has the flexibility to adjust to any situation, and he's not afraid to get close. But the most revealing thing about a man who uses a bra is how easy it is to spot him.
I believe this is yours.
Braun, the world's most recognized shave.
Hi, welcome to Subway.
Subway isn't like those fancy New York steakhouses. No stuffy maitre d' or jackets required.
Great vest. Thanks.
But we do have A1 steak sauce. It's on Subway's new A1 steak and cheese. Slices of tender, juicy, seasoned steak topped with the great taste of A1, plus all the fresh fixins you like. And at Subway, you don't get a big bill. You get change. Subway's new A1 steak and cheese. Appetites are required. Jackets aren't.
So, what do you think?
You look tough to me.
You just don't see that these days.
I'm impressed. I want those qualities on our team. I think we can get them.
Let's go ask.
Hey, that's Ellie's head scout. Could you come over here a second, son? Yeah, you. There's a show, baby. Could you turn around? You know if these sweats come in teal?
Is that seam double-stitched?
Do you like the way it flows?
Looking for tough athletic wear? Get Russell Athletic. Get tough.
Flexible.
Back in Lennoxville, where the Western Mustangs lead Bishops 27-24. It was all Gators in the opening half. It'll be all over if the Gators keep playing like this in the second. Look at the quarterback comparison, Jamie.
That's incredible. Trevor Lovick, the worst thing that happened to him was the first half ended. He would have probably liked to have discontinued the play. He's really cooled off, only 2 of 10, but the 3 interceptions have been absolutely devastating for Bishops.
Add that to a fumble on the opening kickoff of the second half, and the Mustangs are having some kind of second half. 7 turnovers now for the Gators. 1st and 10 Mustangs from the 39. And the draw play to the fullback. That's Peter Glab, and Glab has another first down as he fights his way to the 22-yard line.
And they run trap draw. They run, it looks like the inside trap game, but they fake it like a pass. And boy, they're really getting into people right now, that Western offensive line, getting downfield, getting into their blocks.
Some fans have made the trip down from London, a good 12-hour drive from southwestern Ontario. Another first down. Western set up 1st and 10 from the 23. Here it come again. The other fullback, Craig Young, and Young has another first down, or close to it, as he gets down to about the 11. And there's an injured Bishops Gator. Dave Henry is down, and he appears to be fairly seriously hurt. Craig Young has just been a running machine here in the second half, and he got down to the 11-yard line there for another first down. And Dave Henry had a big first half. He's getting checked now on the turf. And remember, Dan Bohink, the other defensive end, left the game with an injury and has not yet returned. So this Bishops defensive line is being decimated by injuries. And now Bohink comes back into the football game for Bishops, but he's limping noticeably on an injured right knee.
You can see his own teammate rolls onto just to the left of the official, number 14, rolls onto his leg. That usually is the inside of your knee, which the ligaments stretch a little bit.
So David Henry, being attended to on the sidelines, is now up, but that leg appears to be pretty wobbly.
Because you wear them till their tongues hang out, Micotin penetrates the skin to kill athlete's foot.
There's been a number of key injuries to the Bishops Gators in the second half. Dan Bohink is back into the game. Dave Henry has left. Also, starting defensive halfback Joel Kruzich, a first-team All-Canadian last year, has left this football game and not returned. We'll check his status for you as soon as we get it. But now the focus is on Western. 1st and 10. Leading by 3. Glab inside the 10 to the 7. And Western now very methodically working its way towards the Bishops end zone.
And this is the kind of offense that Western like to run. They like to run the football a lot if they can effectively. Just fullbacks continue to change. Peter Glab goes out. Craig Young comes back in, carrying the plays from the bench.
Young and Reed will be in the backfield now. It's 2nd and 4. Toss to Reed. Forced outside and a loss of a couple. Troy Russell, who has made plays all day, makes another big one there to turn Sean Reed away.
And I think the other guy who made another great play was number 8, Matt Legg. He came up and shot in there and forced Reed to take it a little bit wider. Number 8 in your screen for Bishops comes flying in here right now, right there, takes on the block of Craig Young. That forces Reed outside, and now Troy Russell turns it back inside and makes a tackle. That's great defense.
The loss is 3, and now Frank Jaggis will come on to try a field goal.
16-yard field goal for the Mustangs. Sandy McGregor with the hold.
This field goal attempt from the 16-yard line. He made his last attempt. And he's good on this one. The Mustangs extend their lead to 6, leading 30-24 with 12:58 to play in the 4th quarter. And the word from the Bishop sidelines is not good for the Gators. Joel Kruzich, the All-Canadian, has injured his knee and will not return today. So with Dave Henry out for at least a time as well, injuries are a problem for Ian Breck's squad.
It is, because now you have 2 players that were not starters in this game. Matt McBride filling in for Joel Kruzich, and number 90, Tyler Bjorn, filling in for Dave Henry.
Gators take over 1st and 10 at their own 35. Now trailing this game by 6. Loving out to the flat to Masaki Kono. Kono turns it back inside. He gets up to the 40. He dropped the football, but he was down. He dropped the football, but the referees ruled him down on the play. That's a big break for Bishops. The last thing the Gators want to do now is give Western the ball back.
And boy, I'll tell you what, he's showing some great courage getting up there, because did he ever take a lick? Do a good job here. Watch this hit right there. Bang. By number 65, David Burney, the defensive tackle.
And he was down on the play. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5. A grass field in mid-November, 2 teams going at it for a spot in the Vanier. You can't ask for much more than this. On 2nd and 5, Loving under pressure, looking back, and he is down. He ran right into the waiting arms of linebacker Derek Crete. And Bishops will be forced to punt.
And that's a situation. No 4-man rush anymore. It's 2nd down. They're bringing the backside linebacker. Loving doesn't like what he sees. He turns back around, and Crete is right there to make the sack.
Now David Carnifan on to punt.
And number 14, Sandy McGregor.
And back deep to receive for Western, number 14, Sandy McGregor, and number 2, Xavier Lafont. 10 men up on the line. Western setting up the return. It's Xavier Lafont who dropped the ball, still loose, and Sandy Campbell hustles back to grab it. Another big break. This time it goes Western's way. 30-24. 11:42 to play.
One thing the new Geo Metro is not is one-dimensional. All you have to tell us is 2 doors or 4. The all-new Geo Metro. It's not a lot. One thing the new Geo Metro is not is unsafe. It comes with not 1, but 2 airbags. The all-new Geo Metro. It's not a lot.
Western leads this game by 6, but the Mustangs got a break on that last punt return, Jamie.
They sure did. When you have both people back there calling for it, Xavier Lafont looks like he has it. bobbles a little bit. Now Sandy McGregor has to come up and make a important play. Smart move, just get on it, don't try and do anything with it. And there you see the injured Joel Kruzich on the sideline, an All-Canadian a year ago, the MVP in the OQIFC in '93. Big loss for Bishops.
Been all conference the last couple of years. Second in the league in punt returns as well, so it's a huge loss for the Bishops Gators. No sign yet of Dave Henry in the Bishops defensive line, which is makeshift now after a couple of injuries. First and 10 Western from its own 42. Out to the flat to Tom McConnell. McConnell's got blocks in front of him. A flag is down as McConnell is brought down after a gain of 8 at the 50-yard line. Holding appears to be the call against Western. And there's another injured Bishops Gator on the play. Slow to get up is the corner, Sam Brennan. But he'll stay in.
I think Sam Brennan took a big hit from his own people.
Holding, number 14 Western, first down.
Sandy McGregor is called for holding on that receiver screen. That'll move the Mustangs back to their own 32-yard line.
See, ahead of the plays, Sandy McGregor is on Sammy Brennan. They call the hold. That's a good call by the official.
Now first and 20 for the Mustangs. Goldie going over the top, and it is well out of the reach of the intended receiver, Tom McConnell. The closest man to it was the safety, Don Simpson. Haven't seen Goldie throw deep much today. Much of Western's passing attack has been of the quick variety. It's worked pretty well in the second half. So maybe trying to stretch that Bishops defense a little bit.
Well, this is a situation that's very tough for them now. Second down and 20 on their own 32-yard line. They want to be careful here. They obviously would like to get the first down, some yard to get some breathing space, but they do not want to throw an interception.
Second down and 20 for the Western Mustangs, who lead by 6. Early movement, no flags, and it's a draw play to Glav, and he is stopped short of the first down. As jumping up to make the stop is Francis Bellefoy. It was a gain of 15 yards, but it'll still leave Western short of the first down.
Western like to go to the draw, the trap draw once again. They feel the linebackers are out, but Francis Bellefoy is playing fairly deep, anticipating pass. He comes up and makes a stop and forces Western to punt.
Jagas and the punting unit come on now for the Mustangs. Jagas having a great day, a 42.7-yard average, which is about on his season average, but he's kicking into a pretty brisk wind. Low snap. This is a tumbling kick. Taken at the 35, Masaki Kono working his way across the field. Out to the 45, he's finally stopped. A pretty decent return by Masaki Kono. 15 yards, and now Bishops has the ball back, trailing by 6, with 10:06 to play in the fourth quarter of the Churchill Bowl.
McCain took your favorite sandwiches and put them in their pockets. Introducing new McCain ham and cheese and beef and cheddar super pockets.
Savor the flavors, 'cause it's the bite you really like.
All in a crust that's baked, not fried, so there's no leaks, no mess.
Fast to make and eat, it's a bite you really like.
New McCain super pockets. We filled up our pockets with the flavors you savor.
McCain!
Who will meet the Saskatchewan Huskies in the Vanier Cup? Western to Bishops. Western leads by 6 with 10:06 to play. Let's go back to Rod Smith.
Thank you, Gordon. Speaking of the Vanier Cup, joining me now is Steve Plumley, the chairman of the Vanier Cup Organizing Committee. All systems go for next week?
Oh, great. Yes, sir. 30th anniversary Vanier Cup, and we're having a party, Rod. We've invited back the participating teams for previous 29 games for a pregame parade of champions. We've got alumni parties in the bars and restaurants around the Skydome vicinity. And it's just going to be a fab. This is an unbelievable game. It's just week in and week out. It's unbelievable entertainment.
Do you have a preferred matchup?
Well, no, but the 25th anniversary was Saskatchewan Western. We drew 32,877 people, rocked the Skydome, and that would be a great matchup. But the Bishop Gators are going a great game here, and the fans are unbelievable, the entertainment and the atmosphere.
Thanks very much, Dave.
Michelle Moran with a carry and a gain of 5 yards will bring up 2nd and 5. 32,877, huh? That's a pretty good memory.
It was a great crowd that first game under the dome. 1989.
Ian Breck would love the 30th Vanier Cup game to be his team's first appearance. 5 interceptions, marring what was a pretty good day for Trevor Loving. Now on 2nd and 5, big play for Bishops. Loving to Masaki Kono, intercepted. Andre Van Gastel has his 3rd of the game, and he's off and running. Van Gastel to the 15, and Ian Crawford catches him from behind, but not before Andre Van Gastel gets all the way down to the 5-yard line. A 51-yard return on the interception, and Andre Van Gastel, a second-year player who was not a starter in this football game, comes up with his 3rd interception.
We can see Van Gastel, he's just playing safety, and he comes across reading Trevor Loving's eyes the whole way. He was trying to get the ball quickly to Masaki Kono, but Van Gastel with his 3rd interception, doing a great job filling in for the injured Tim Hughes.
Some of that 51-yard return will be nullified by an illegal block, which will move Western back to the Bishops' 22-yard line. But still, the interception stands as gigantic. 8th turnover for Bishops. It was 4 turnovers to 1 at one point in the first half. With the penalty, it's 1st and 10, Western at the Bishops' 22. Under 9 minutes to go, 4th quarter, and Western with a big possession here. Sean Reed on the carry. Blockers in front of him, and Reed down to the 15-yard line for a gain of 7. Andre Van Gastel comes into this game because Tim Hughes, the starting safety for Western, was injured. And 3 interceptions later, he's had a major impact.
We gotta score, defense.
It's always funny when you look at people like that and you think, what are they thinking just before the game? Like, geez, I hope I maybe get in for a couple of plays if we have a big lead. I'm sure he had no idea he would become such a big part of this football game a few hours ago. 2nd and 3 now, Western from the Bishops' 15. Back to Reed, back through the line, a 1st down to the 10. And Western has simply been grinding it out here in the second half, thanks to turnover after turnover by Bishops. Well, the offensive line of Western was really starting to get off the ball right now. And in the second half, they've been pounding it away, and horrible numbers for Trevor Loving in the second half. On fire in the first half, he certainly cooled off. You'd swear somebody else came out in his uniform. It can't be the same guy that played so well in the first half. And now a 1st down for Western just outside the 10, so the Mustangs can get a 1st down without scoring. 8 minutes to play, 4th quarter. The give to Glab, flags are down, and Glab has a gain of 3, and holding appears to be the call against Western. And the Mustangs have not helped themselves with penalties here in the 4th quarter.
There's no flag.
But they weren't hurt there. And Larry Haler with a little smile on his face. That's a break for his team. It'll be marked as a gain of a couple. 2nd and 8. Well, you have to think if you're a Bishops Gator that this might be it. This is it. This is where they have to come up with a big goal line stand. And they have to be awful tired right now, too, because Western's been running the ball pretty effectively inside and out. Dave Henry back into the football game with the knee tape. 2nd and 8. The toss to Reed. Heading for the end zone. Touchdown, Sean Reed. No one touched him on his way in. Big touchdown for the Western Mustang. With the convert, they can make it a 13-point lead. So another turnover haunts the Bishops Gators as their fans watch what looked to be a victory slip away. Such a big play again. They run this toss. Watch a great block by number 32, Craig Young out there. Bang, he's on leg at the top of the screen. Good blocking by Sandy McGregor against Troy Russell. And Sean Reed goes into the end zone untouched. Now I wonder if Western would entertain a thought of going for 2 here. It would make the score 38-24 and give you a 2-touchdown lead. And that's exactly what they're going to do, Gory, go for 2 points. So as they set the ball, a big 2-point conversion try for Western. Bishops made one earlier. This would give the Mustangs a 2-touchdown lead with 7:33 to play in the 4th quarter. What would you run here, Coach?
I think what they're going to try and run is some type of play-action pass. I would think some type of boot action.
Stuart Beek has to be the guy who makes the catch, you'd have to think, wouldn't you?
I think so. I think they try to run it the other way, and then they had to come back the last time they got the two-point conversion to Beek. Great job by the offensive line. They pulled P.J. Gleason, but a good block there by 32. That's Craig Young on Matt Legg. You can see Troy Russell turning around to the official saying, hey, number 14, Sandy McGregor was holding me, but the official was right there and said, no, that's a TD.
Two-point conversion try for the Mustangs. They were looking for Reed, and now Goldie's under pressure. All the way back to his own 25. Goldie's got a long way to go. Now throws to the end zone, and Glab has it for two. Peter Glab makes the catch for two. There's a flag down in the end zone, and there's another flag down after the play as Troy Russell took a poke at Tom McConnell. Well, let's see what all these flags are about as Harley McKay and the refereeing crew have to sort it out. It looked as though the first call was interference on Bishops. The second call is likely unnecessary roughness.
You don't expect a big guy to be able to run like this. We talked about Warren Goldie being 6'3", 212 pounds. These are just absolutely incredible move. Keeps his poise and finds Peter Glab in the end zone. And then right there, drilled in the back, the official throws a flag on Troy Russell there, and another one later on for rough play.
If these are both assessed on the kickoff, they won't have to go very far.
And you know, if they are assessed on the kickoff, maybe Western should consider a short kick. Right there, they flag him right there for rough play, so the official. And then he takes a shot right there to Sandy McGregor. And that's two on him.
And now they'll pick up the football and move it forward.
Now they should be kicking off from Bishop's 35. They're two 15-yard penalties. Should be from Bishop's 35.
Let's go to Rod Smith. Rod?
Gord, I talked to Bob LaRose, the defensive coordinator of the Western Mustangs, asked him about the biggest adjustment. I mean, that's been the story of the second half. Western's defense not allowing any points. Says they really haven't made that many adjustments at all. Not much more pressure. What they wanted to do was tighten up in their zone coverage and add more intensity. He thought they were totally flat in that first half, and he thinks just individual adjustments, getting more intense, more aggressive, has been as much a story as anything.
That's a good point, actually, Rod, and I think that's exactly what they had to do, is turn up the heat and get more intensity. The two penalties were objectionable conduct and rough play, so Western will be kicking off from Bishop's 40-yard line.
Maybe a short kick isn't a bad idea here.
I think it is actually a pretty good idea. You might get a chance to get it, plus you keep them deep in their own end.
Or pooch it. Jagus can put that through the uprights from there. But a point would be big here, too. So Jagus line drives it to the end zone. Bringing it out is Shane Thompson. And Thompson gets out. So they will spot the ball at the 20-yard line under OQ rules. I'm sorry, it doesn't apply to kickoffs, does it, James? We can't keep track of these new rules in this conference. It's only on punts. On that kickoff, it's a 13-yard return, and that's where the ball will be spotted. And there's the scoring drive after another turnover. 4 plays, 22 yards, a minute 27, and now a 14-point deficit for the Bishops Gators. Hard to imagine, isn't it? They've been outscored 29-0 in the second half. And a pickup of about 3 on the play for the fullback, Michelle Moran.
Now, this is one of the problems that Bishops have with this kind of offense. It is more of a possession passing style offense, nothing deep. They try to chip away at you, but time now becomes their enemy with less than 7 minutes.
And a new quarterback into the football game for Bishops, Jeremy Tessier, the backup. And Tessier up and throwing, delivers it, and complete to Nigel McGilvery, and McGilvery should have a first down. Jeremy Tessier, who came into this game having passed for only 212 yards. He'd been intercepted 7 times, 1 touchdown pass.
And I'll tell you what, he shows he has a rocket of an arm. Look at this delivery right here. Bang. Right out there, you can hear that pop on the McGilvery shoulder pads all the way over here.
Go defense!
On first down, Tessier guns it low, and his receiver, McGilvery, was double covered.
Now, Tessier was primarily their option quarterback when he came in here. Came into this game as a big rusher. He was averaging close to 11 yards per carry. Jeremy Tessier from London, but went to school in Windsor at Father Brennan High School. One of the many recruits from Ontario in Lennoxville.
And he knows a thing or two about the Western Mustangs, I would imagine. Incompletion brings up a 2nd and 10. 6:20 to play in the 4th quarter. Bishop trails by 2 touchdowns. Tessier out to the flat, has his man for a moment, but Shane Thompson can't hang on. It'll bring up 3rd and 10 for the Gators. And Ian Brecht is setting out the punting unit. Bishops needs a turnover now.
They certainly do, and they have to stop Western from running the football. Time becomes their enemy right now.
What an amazing turnaround from the first half to the second. It's been like 2 completely different games.
And it all started with that fumble recovery on the opening kickoff.
You know, you think about the opening kickoffs hurting the Bishops Gators. 2 years ago in the Ontario-Quebec playoffs against Queens, it was a kickoff return on the opening kickoff of the second half by Brad Elberg that sealed Bishops' fate. The punt by Carnifan goes out of bounds. In fact, is fielded by one of the Western coaches down there. The Mustangs, with 6:03 to play, have a 14-point lead and a chance to go to the Vanier for the 10th time. After 30 minutes, Trevor Lovick was having quite likely the best game of his university career. After 3 quarters, quite likely his worst. That's the numbers for the second half. 3 of 14 for 35 yards and 4 interceptions.
And I think you saw a lot of different things that Western threw at him on defense. They came with some pressure. They played a lot of man. They played man underneath zone on top. They confused the looks. They got some pressure in his face and really disrupted the young quarterback.
And you heard Ian Brecht encouraging his defense. They need to stop, but more importantly, they quite likely need a turnover, but they need to stop Western from running the football. Early movement to give to the lead back, and here comes Craig Young again, bursting through the Bishop's line. He's inside Gators territory to the 42-yard line. The tackle is made by Troy Russell. And now there's another flag down after the play. And objectionable conduct looks to be the call again against Bishop. And it is.
They like to run that off tackle. They get a good block on Paul Connery, the defensive tackle, and then Craig Young sneaks through. They're just killing him running the off tackle play.
And you see on the ground at the end, and that again is Troy Russell, who was flagged on the 2-point conversion twice, once for hitting him after the catch, once for objectionable conduct, and here now again for objectionable conduct. And that cost his team dearly, as Western now has a first down at Bishop's 33 with under 5.5 to play in the 4th quarter. And it's the reverse. Damian Lowry got a couple of blocks and got dragged down after a gain of 5. Sam Brennan, the cornerback, came over to make the stop. That's a different call in that situation. And these fans who were so excited early on have very little to cheer about now. Somehow, Bishops has found a way not to go to the Vanier Cup again.
Say it's an unusual play. That used to be a big part of Western's offense when they ran that wing tee where they bring the slot back around on the sweep, and especially when David Sapunjas was playing slot back for the Mustangs.
And David Sapunjas wears the same number that Damian Lowry is wearing now. They were both number 27 at Western. After a gain of 6, here's the toss to Sean Reed. Reed's got the first down and then some. As he gets inside the 20 to the 19, the safety Don Simpson made the stop. 4:35 to play 4th quarter, and Western's just beating them over the head with the running game.
They're just doing a great job of getting off the line and getting engaged and not becoming disengaged. You can see Sean Reed is 6 yards down the field before he even touched, and Don Simpson, the defensive back, has to come up and make that tackle. Anytime that's happening, you know your running backs are getting pretty good yardage.
Another first down for the Mustangs at the Bishop's 19-yard line. Clock running, 4:20 to play in the 4th quarter. Here's Peter Glad. Glad gets a gain of 6 down to the 13-yard line.
Once again, Western mixing it up, running off tackle, toss. Now they run the inside trap, really have Bishop's back on their heels. And once again, Don Simpson, the safety, has to come up and make the play. Get good angles, bang. Now Simpson, number 18, has to make the tackle along with Matt Legg. Matt Legg knows a lot about Western as well. Went to school at Catholic Central in London, Ontario.
Was coached by Greg Marshall, who is now Western's offensive coordinator. They had a visit yesterday. Right now, Western threatening to visit the Bishop's end zone again. The lead back, Craig Young, vaults his way to the 10. He'll be very close to a first down. He needed the 9-yard line. And Craig Young has had some kind of second half for the Western Mustangs.
Well, they're going to measure it here and see how close they are, whether or not they had the first down. I think Larry's talking it over, maybe saying that we should go for the field goal because it would make Bishops have to score 3 times in order to beat us.
3 scores in 3.5 minutes. That's a tall order.
But you also have to think that your offensive line is doing such a great job. If you can't get in half an inch when they have to line up a yard away from the ball, that's what they're going to do. They're going to go for it.
3rd and inches. Peter Glab checks into the game for Western. The Mustangs trailed this game 24-9 after 30 minutes. They now lead it 38-24. And now some confusion as 2 referees blew their whistles there, so they'll respot this and figure out where everyone should be, and Western will re-huddle. Larry Haler's team has won 1 Vanier Cup. Back in 1989, the first game at Skydome. Straight ahead goes Goldie, and he has the first down easily. Warren Goldie's an interesting situation. I was talking to his dad last night, who came down for the game. Warren's in his 4th year, and the question would be, would he return for a 5th year? Well, Warren's saying, we'll see what happens down the stretch here in the playoffs, but if we didn't win the Vanier Cup, I might give it another shot. His dad says, time for that kid to get a job.
Usually it's the other way around. It's when you win the Vanier Cup, you hang it up. Kind of done it all, and certainly had a super year so far this year, and maybe 1 game left.
He got the first down, and the clock is running. Approaching 3 minutes left. Early movement as the right side of the Western line moved early. P.J. Gleason stepped offside. That'll stop the clock at 3 minutes exactly in the 4th quarter. And a stunned silence is followed over Coulter Field in Lennoxville. They were partying about an hour ago. And you know that fella.
There's Al Philbrick, Dr. Al Philbrick, former professor at University of Western Ontario. But every time the Mustangs score a touchdown, Al Philbrick runs a lap. And it started back in 1972 when he was an academic advisor for the football team. He was on the sidelines, and Western came back to win a game. He was so excited. He ran around the track, and Frank Cosentino, the head coach, then said, hey, you're good luck for us. I want you to come back again next week and do the same thing.
Hey, he's like 82 years old. They made him run 4 times here in the second half. Take it easy on him. And he's got the sweats on again. He's getting set to go one more time, he thinks. He might be the rushing leader in this game. Penalty moves the Mustangs outside the 10 to the 13-yard line. To give to Reed. Reed across the 10, fights his way back to the 7-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 7. 2:38 to play in the 4th quarter. These teams playing for the right to meet the Saskatchewan Huskies in the 30th Vanier Cup next week. And look at the rushing yards in the second half. 193 for Western. And the big mistake Bishops made was allow the Mustangs to get back into the football game and allow them to go back to their ground game.
And because of turnovers, that gave Western good field position. It gave them an opportunity to use their ground game.
And the clock runs, 2nd and goal from the 7. Give to Glab, the lead back. He ran into a wall of Bishop's Gators, so Dr. Philbrick will not get a chance to run again unless Western goes for it on 3rd down, but you wouldn't think they would with Jagas to come in and make it 3 possessions. So I think, Dr. Philbrick, you can put your running shoes away for today, but pick out some good turf shoes because I think you'll be running next week at Skydome in Toronto.
Come on, Jagas, let's go.
and he runs at home and on the road. Took the abuse last week in Laurier, took some abuse here in the opening half. Jagas, who missed his first two, has made his last couple, and now to make it a 3-possession lead for Western. And Jagas puts it through, 41-24. Western now leads Bishops as the Mustangs have scored 32 unanswered points in the second half.
Truly an incredible comeback.
And this crowd is absolutely stunned. And Larry Haler is taking his team back to the Vanier Cup.
I think McConnell talked about it earlier. Tom McConnell said we couldn't play any worse in the first half. We've turned the ball over. We couldn't sustain anything in offense, and they were just picking our defense apart.
And now the Gators, first and 10 from their 35. Jeremy Tessier, the quarterback, off and running. Flags are down, and so is Tessier after a gain of 3 to the 38-yard line. 1:55 to play in the fourth quarter. Our congratulations to Brian Tauras and the Saskatchewan Huskies. Winners 35-24 over St. Mary's. Saskatchewan goes to the Vanier Cup, and sometimes Western teams that win the Atlantic Bowl go straight to the Vanier Cup. They don't like to fly all the way home and then fly all the way back. I imagine Brian's taking his squad home tonight. They'll practice in Saskatoon and get set for the 30th Vanier Cup next week, where it looks as though they'll meet the Western Mustangs for the second time in 5 years. Pass is complete to David Butler, who gets across midfield to the 52-yard line. 1:50 to play in the fourth quarter, and Bishops in its hurry-up offense. Butler has been a quiet man in the second half.
In their hurry-up offense now, of course, time being a huge factor. Only 1 minute and 50 seconds left.
Clock running at 1:45. Tessier. Flags are down. And Tessier off and running. Gets down to the 41-yard line, but this will be coming back. Holding will be the call against Bishops. And Larry Haler exhorting his troops. They might as well burn the first half game film. It hasn't looked like the same Western team. The boys won't like the first couple of hours of that film session.
Number 67, Bishops, first down.
But they'll love the second half. Maybe take a magnet to that first tape.
David Eller is caught holding against David Burney.
An astounding comeback by the Western Mustangs. 32 unanswered points. They trailed 24-9 at the half, and they simply put nails to the Bishop Gators in the second half. Tessier looking deep, has to throw it short over the middle, and it's incomplete. Looking there for Ian Crawford. And there's the grin. One of the nice guys you'll meet in football, Larry Haler. Worked with us a couple of years ago on a Vanier Cup broadcast, but he's headed back to where he'd much rather be, the sidelines at Skydome. As much as Larry enjoyed working with us.
Well, it makes that bus ride a lot easier to handle, that 12-hour bus ride back to London. They'll leave immediately after this game.
And then the Mustangs and their thousands of fans will make their way to Skydome for the Vanier Cup. Complete to Masaki Kono. Kono across midfield, brought down at the 50-yard line. And we talked about him in the first half, Ryan Lyons, and how he struggled in that opening half, Jamie. But you know what? In the second half, Ryan Lyons has come up and made a number of big defensive plays for the Western Mustangs. So the first-year guy hangs in there in the second half and makes the plays.
It's really been an impressive performance by some of the younger guys that stepped in, and Andre Von Gastel, of course, you were talking about, and some of the younger players. Quite a comeback. A lot of teams, when they get in that situation, they can go one or two ways. They can claw their way back, or they can kind of fold their tents and go home.
1:22 to go in the fourth quarter. The injured player is Xavier Lafont, who's had quite a second half for the Western Mustangs. Remember, in the first quarter, he fumbled on a punt return that set up a Bishop's touchdown, but since then, he has been a giant in that Western defense.
I know the Western Alumni Association will be all revved up and raring to go for the Vanier Cup, and they'll have all sorts of parties in Toronto. If you're planning on taking in the game, talk to the Western Alumni Association. They'll tell you where everything's happening.
Except if you're from Saskatchewan, you might not want to make that call. Tessier on third down over the middle and incomplete, almost intercepted by Andre Van Gastel. Van Gastel very nearly had his 4th interception of the second half. 1:02 to play now, and the Western Ontario Mustangs will get a chance to run it out. Drive home and then go to the Vanier Cup a week from now. A 10th appearance in 30 Vanier Cups. And you know what's interesting about the Western Mustangs? Any player who has ever played 5 consecutive years at Western has been to at least one Vanier Cup. And they're headed back to the 30th, the Western Mustangs. It's been 5 years since they've been there. And don't forget about the TSN banner contest on Vanier Cup Day from 1:45 to 2:30 Eastern Time. Any high school or university students in the Southern Ontario area, bring your banner down there. The best one gets a $500 bursary towards a post-secondary education anywhere in Canada.
Number 32, Craig Young.
The give to Craig Young, and Young is stopped short, but it ceases to matter now with 59 seconds left.
30, everything. We're going to the show. I'll get safe. Going to the big one.
Here's Jordan Haler, the backup quarterback. That's Larry Haler's son.
Bring it on, baby.
If Warren Goldie decides not to return next year, he will be the quarterback.
Well, if Mr. Goldie has anything to say about it, Jordan Haler will be the quarterback. No gain on the play. The clock is running at 40 seconds. And they give now to Jason McKibben, the backup fullback, and McKibben goes off tackle for 6 yards. And when you look at Vanier Cup history, you begin with the University of Western Ontario Mustangs, who have dominated that game unlike any other. 9 appearances, 5 victories. There were those 4 consecutive losses from 1979 to 1986. Those were the 7 years that you were on the staff, right, Dave?
That's right, actually. Never won one as a coach, but 2 as a player. But it's a great event to be involved with anyway.
Clock approaching 20 seconds, and Warren Goldie, who's gone from start to finish, will wait for the clock to run down and now give it off to McKibben, who fumbled the football, and it's picked up by Bishops, picked up by Matt Lang with 9 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. Well, it won't matter now, but the last turnover of the game is committed by Western, which committed the first 3. I guess it's appropriate that a game like this would end with a turnover. But the Western Mustangs could care less now with 9 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. And the fans here in Lennoxville are standing in appreciation of their Bishops Gators, who began the year 0-3, won their next 6. But they'll watch the Vanier Cup on TV next week. Tessier. One more try for the end zone. Throws it over the middle, and it is intercepted by Van Gastel, and that is his 4th of the second half. They ruled no catch. Andre Van Gastel diving for the interception. It comes up incomplete. 2 seconds left. There will be one more play, and then the Vanier Cup matchup will be set. For the second time, it will be the Saskatchewan Huskies and the University of Western Ontario Mustangs. Western scoring 32 unanswered points in the 4th quarter, in the second half rather, to win this game 41-24.
Let's not forget Larry Haler was a former quarterback with the University of Saskatchewan Huskies from 1967 to 70. He coached, that's where he got his first coaching in university, was at University of Saskatchewan, so a bit of a homecoming for Larry.
Tessier is going to try one more, throws over the middle and has it complete to Ian Crawford, but that is the football game. They were down and out at halftime, trailing 24-9, but the final score reached 41-24 in one of the most remarkable changes of fortune in the history of the Churchill Bowl game. The Western Mustangs are headed to the Vanier Cup, and Rod Smith is standing by with the winning coach, Larry Haler.
Larry, congratulations, another Vanier Cup appearance. Talking to you at the half, I believed that you could come back in this game. Could you have conceived such a comeback, 32-0?
Well, I think we had to either conceive of it or else we were done. And I mean, we had little choice and few options, and we either had to suck it up and play, or we were going home without the win. And hey, I mean, we played a great second half, and we turned the ball over from them, whereas we did it in the first half, and that was the big difference. And we played with some intensity in the second half.
It's always difficult to point out one individual because so many had a great game, but I thought Andre Van
Gastel went in and played. Tim Hughes, our starting safety, went down, and Andre went in and had a great second half, and really, I mean, the recovery on the kickoff to start the second half turned the nature of the game, and we rolled from there.
Another appearance in the Vanier Cup, another appearance against the University of Saskatchewan Huskies. How does that feel? Kind of nice to play against the team that you beat last time?
My two favorite teams. Not quite in that order. But yeah, well, no, it's just been nice to play in it. You know, the fact that it's a great team from Saskatchewan, I think, makes it even more meaningful. So hopefully it'll be a classic matchup.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you very much.
Larry Haler, Gord, back to you.
Thanks very much, Rod. They shake hands at midfield. The Western Mustangs might have thought a couple of hours ago that this would be a concession handshake. Instead, the Mustangs have another game to play, and another season for the Bishop's Gators ends late in the playoffs, but ends before the Vanier Cup. 41-24, the final score for Western over Bishops. We're back with more right after this.
One thing the new Geo Metro is not is one-dimensional. All you have to tell us is 2 doors or 4. The all-new Geo Metro, it's not a lot. One thing the new Geo Metro is not is unsafe. It comes with not 1, but 2 airbags. The all-new Geo Metro, it's not a lot.
Protector, a razor so sharp it has to be kept behind bars. Protective guard wires ensure that while the shave is close, there is no safer wet shave. Protector, only from Wilkinson Sword.
You can't always hear an exhaust problem. Even a hole this size in your exhaust system can seriously affect your car's performance. Come to Midas for a fast, free inspection of your exhaust. Trust your exhaust to Midas.
Hi, welcome to Subway.
Subway isn't like those fancy New York steakhouses. No stuffy maitre d' or jackets required.
Great vest. Thanks.
But we do have A1 steak sauce. It's on Subway's new A1 steak and cheese. Slices of tender, juicy seasoned steak topped with a great taste of A1, plus all the fresh fixins you like. And at Subway, you don't get a big bill. You get change. Subway's new A1 steak and cheese. Appetites are required. Jackets aren't.
Wow. Look at that face. It's not a happy face. What, are you waiting for your computer company to pick up the phone? Don't they realize the reason you're here tonight is because you have to be finished in the morning? You know what your mistake is? You're a person. See, if you were a big fancy corporation, 16 guys would be all over you apologizing by now. Or maybe your mistake is you're holding for the wrong company.
Time now for the TSN Turning Point, brought to you by Apple Auto Glass.
Scored with Western down 15 points at the half. The opening kickoff of the second half. Frank Jaggis kicks it deep into the corner. It's fielded by Luc Normand. Luc Normand starting his return, but down to cover is Anthony Lane. Number 21 strips the ball from Normand. Western recover and go on to score and never look back.
A cash donation will be made to the Coaching Association of Canada for the training and development of Canadian coaches in amateur sport on behalf of TSN and Apple Auto Glass. Guaranteed the pick of the crop from coast to coast. Let's go to Rod Smith with the Geo Player of the Game.
Thank you, Gordon. That player of the game, Andre Van Gastel. It's hard to pick out one guy, but that was a real turning point with the interceptions. You guys were turning over the ball in the first half, and then you got them back with 3 interceptions for yourself in the second. Talk about your game.
Well, really what allowed me to do it was they contained the rush by the quarterback. The quarterback didn't get to run the whole game. And when we were running our zero coverages, they left the back in so I could float around. And the other DBs just did great coverage. It was, you know, the whole team worked on it.
Could you have imagined this happening, knowing that you didn't start the game?
Not a clue, not a clue. I think Tim would have done the exact same thing had he been in for the game. And if he's there on Saturday in the Dome, he'll do the same thing again.
What did you notice? And the difference. What was the key adjustment you made in the second half in dealing with Trevor Lovick? Because he was having a field day with you guys in the first half.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. What happened was we started coming with a lot of pressure because we weren't getting to him, and just going with 5 men up on pressure and leaving 6 back. And I was free. So, and you can just watch him throw the ball. So, I don't know, I mean, I just got lucky where I was, and the other DBs did a great job.
You must be wondering what your status is going to be for next week after a performance today.
Well, if Tim's back, hopefully he'll start. And if not, I'll there be to do the job.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you very much.
Andre Van Gastel, the player of the game. Now back to you, Gord.
And GM Canada will contribute $500 to the University of Western Ontario football program on behalf of Andre Van Gastel, the Geo Player of the Game.
One thing the new Geo Metro is not is one-dimensional. All you have to tell us is 2 doors or 4. The all-new Geo Metro, it's not a lot. One thing the new Geo Metro is not is unsafe. It comes with not 1, but 2 airbags. The all-new Geo Metro, it's not a lot.
To discover the real difference between the world's 2 leading soft drinks, we're implementing an anthropological study. Chimp A will be allowed nothing but Coke. Chimp B, nothing but Pepsi. The results are astounding. The chimp that drank Coke showed improvement in motor skills. The chimp that drank Pepsi, however, disappeared.
Hello? It's him!
As your engine revs higher, the oil inside creates a hydrodynamic wedge, a protective layer that builds up and keeps engine parts separated. But as your oil's viscosity breaks down, so can the wedge. That's why Castrol GTX provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. Because if your viscosity breaks down, what's next? Castrol GTX, engineered for today's harder working engines.
Look for Castrol's free oil filter offer at these and other leading outlets.
Imagine seeing yourself in the future.
Good thing we didn't have that much trouble getting our business started. Is this for real? Yep. Our dream come true. Now all our customers come to us. We still have tense moments, but hey, it's nothing we can't handle.
Only a London Life representative offers Freedom 55. The freedom to have dreams today and make them come true tomorrow with financial protection along the way.
So, I guess you could say we're still in sales.
And now the presentation of the Churchill Bowl. Rosemary Pitfield, Vice President of the CIU, presents it to the Western Ontario Mustangs, and the player of the game you saw a moment ago, Andre Van Gastel. That's the Maury Van Vliet Award as the game MVP. You see the Churchill Bowl perched behind, and the Western Ontario Mustangs will soon have their hands on that. And now here comes the presentation of the Churchill Bowl trophy to the captains of the Western Ontario Mustangs, the Churchill Bowl champions for 1994. St. John and the rest of the Western Ontario Mustangs have something to celebrate today and have a game to play next Saturday against the Saskatchewan Huskies for the national championship after scoring 32 unanswered points in the second half and beating the Bishop's Gators 41-24.
In the 1994 Vanier Cup.
And so the 30th Vanier Cup will be a rematch of the 25th when Western defeated Saskatchewan and Larry Haler's old school.
And it should make for a great game because both teams have been there in the Dome playing, of course, Saskatchewan in '89, losing to Western, but then winning in 1990 against St. Mary's. And then Western, of course, winning that championship in 1989.
And the 30th Vanier Cup comes your way next week at 2 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock Pacific with the pregame show. The kickoff at 2:48 Eastern, 11:48 Pacific for the 30th National Championship, the Vanier Cup. The CIAU on TSN. Today's game has been brought to you by Geo. Get to know Geo at your Chevrolet Geo dealer. By Pepsi, reminding you to be young, have fun, drink Pepsi. For all of us at TSN, I'm Gord Miller. So long from Lennoxville. We'll see you next week at the 30th Vanier Cup.
This is TSN. You're watching TSN, the sports network, coast to coast. Due to the length of the previous
And a broken play in front. And this is a man advantage break, something that Canada does not want to do late in a game. It's a 3-on-2 down low. Everybody's caught. Astley on a change. And right in front, you're going to see Lehtinen put the puck by Corey Hirsch, who had no chance at all. But Keskinen had all this time. Koivu right here to Lehtinen. And you can see the Canadians trying to get back into the game. And now Tom Rennie has called a timeout with 30 seconds to go.
Jere Lehtinen shakes his head knowing that, yeah, the goal's nice, but not nearly enough with these few seconds remaining in the hockey game.
But again, you can see everybody coming from the bench. It was a line change, and Canada get caught, and Corey Hirsch had no chance at all as Koivu made a nice play to hold him on the other side.
So Rennie wisely takes the moment for the timeout, settle his team down.
A smart move by Tom Rennie right there to settle his team down, as you mentioned, Don. Get the players that he wants on the ice and talk to them before they go on the ice to their plan to hold the fort here for 30 seconds or just over it.
35 to be precise. Face off after that goal, of course, at the red line. Parks will handle it for the Canadians with, again, Yuka Tommy removed from the Finnish net.
Boy, Rennie looks like the coolest guy in the building. Now watch the Finns here. They're set up on the far side. They won the draw. That's what they have to do.
Sure did there, and this takes a lot of time away now. All the way back in the zone. There were 10 seconds have been wasted right there. Hellman in at center ice pokes it to the Canadian blue line. They'll simply slowly shoot it down the ice. The open net. This is not far enough for icing, waved off, and we come down to the final 15 seconds. And this building's going to erupt in just a matter of time. The Finns have to put the goalie back in, though, with 10 seconds left. They ice it, and Canada really has iced it this trip to the gold medal game on Sunday.
And look at the bench now. They can feel it. Greg Johnson playing hurt, takes the shield off. Big cut in his face. Boy, oh boy, gutsy performances, all the players that were hurt.
It'll be an afternoon game here in Haken Hall down the road in Lillehammer, which will begin at 9:15 Eastern time on Sunday morning. So get the breakfast ready and settle down to watch Canada attempt to win its first gold since 1952 in the Olympics. Mayer whistles one wide. And the puck goes into the corner. There'll be, with 2 seconds left, another icing call against the Finns. And how ironic it would be if this gold medal should come Canada's way for the first time since 1952, where the Edmonton Mercury's won it in the capital of this beautiful country, Oslo.
All the hard work all winter long is all paid off. Look at this bench. Tom Rennie knows he has one more task in mind, though.
And 2 more ticks on the clock to make it official. That's it, Canada. A tremendous comeback in the Mountain Arena in Gjøvik, Norway. Spotting Finland, the unbeaten team until today. 2 goals, coming back with 5 straight and winning it 5-3.
The Finns, who gave it everything they had a great tournament. But once again, Canada with their grit, determination. And the players told me this morning how upset they were with the press and how many doubters they had back in Canada. They wanted to prove everybody wrong.
So we await the outcome of the Sweden-Russia game, the other semifinal currently underway. But Canada is on the way to the gold medal game with a 5-3 win over the Finns.
I needed a truck that was a dual-purpose vehicle, the Ford F-150 Super Cab.
The main thing I use the truck for is for the family. You know, I have the driver's side airbag and the rear anti-lock brakes.
A 5.8-liter V8.
I feel really secure in it.
Well, the seats are comfortable.
Comfortable for the kids, comfortable for me.
I landscape on the side. You can't show up there and work on your truck. You have to show up there and work on the job.
The console seat is a great idea. This way I can pop both the kids in the front if I have to watch them. We use the truck a lot for camping.
Cooped up in the rain inside the trailer.
I sing.
felt really stupid. Like I was the only one that didn't know what I was doing.
She wasn't happy at the school anymore. We know it's a good school.
Then we took her to Sylvan.
First, they got my self-confidence up.
Her grades are wonderful now.
Bringing in my first grade report card was excellent.
A's, A's, A's.
Sylvan is the answer.
It's proven itself to us.
I've seen it work.
Sylvan Learning Centers, Edmonton, St. Albert, Sherwood Park, and Grand Prairie. Phone 444-6110.
1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4.
Get back onto the dance floor. DJ Club Mix Volume 4. The greatest non-stop dance mix is back. 16 pulsating rhythms together on one album. DJ Club Mix Volume 4. Accept no imitations. DJ Club Mix Volume 4. Available on cassette and compact disc.
The Lincoln Mark 8's revolutionary suspension automatically lowers the car at high speeds for better handling and less wind resistance, which raises the bar for everyone else. The Lincoln Mark 8. Drive everything else first.
Canada is going to the gold medal game. The last man added to the Canadian team was Brad Wawrinka, and you picked up maybe one of the most important goals in this country's long and very storied hockey history.
Well, maybe it is. I don't know. I think that'll be determined by how well we do in the next game, but we're going there now anyways.
When you got the opportunity and the call to come join Team Canada, what were your thoughts?
Well, I mean, it was pretty quick, and I can't say I gave up hope, but I was kind of questionable whether it was really going to happen, but I mean, ever since I saw the U.S. team win in 1980, it's always been a dream of mine, so it wasn't hard to get the fever.
What did you bring to this team then, Brad?
Well, I mean, I was just ready to play in any role I could. You mean, when you're added so late like that, you mean, the team's pretty set. So, I mean, if I could give them some strength in the power play and move the puck, and you mean, whatever they asked me, you mean, I was going to be ready to do it.
Your team gets down 2-0 and charges back, ties the game. Tell us about your goal.
Well, you mean, it's just an opportunity where maybe their forwards got sucked in a little too low, and Greg Johnson got the puck behind the net, and I just yelled my head off, and good players hear stuff like that, and he threw it out perfectly, and I mean, it was in the net.
You guys never seem to give up hope. One of the things I heard Tom Rennie yelling is lots of hockey left to play, guys, lots of hockey left to play when you were down 2-0.
Oh, yeah, you mean, the big thing on the bench was to make sure that we don't try to get it back in one shift, and I think maybe we might have been guilty of that for a couple there, but I think after, the coaching staff gave us a little talk, everybody settled down, and I mean, I think maybe it took us half a game to realize we could play with these guys, and once we realized that, then it was going from there.
Got the big one left.
Yeah, you bet.
Brad Wawrinka, thank you very much. Brad, thank you. We'll bring in Corey Hirsch. We spoke to Corey Hirsch after the Italy game, and he looked pretty good in an Italy game. Boy, did you look good in this one tonight.
Well, the guys played great. You know, they came out, we played hard tonight, and look at the result. This team has just got unbelievable character, and we're going to come out on Sunday, and we're going to hopefully take the gold medal.
How important was it for this team to stay tight with Finland in that first period?
Oh, they have, they have such good goal scoring that the first period was key because, you let them get up big and then they'll just dominate for the rest of the game. And they got up in the second period. We didn't quit. We kept going right at them, and we kept plugging away, and that's what this team's all about. All
right, the 2 goals that were scored on you, what was the discussion in the room after?
Well, I think that, their first goal was pretty lucky. I mean, the guy goes to shoot a pass, and it goes off our own player skating in the net, and, there's not much either of us are going to do about that. And the second goal was a pretty good shot. I mean, he put it through me, and then after that, I basically said to myself that, the guys are battling hard, and that I want to win this game, and the third period was mine.
Our goaltender on the CTV team, Greg Millen, said that you were seeing the puck extremely well. Good size on it.
Oh, the guys did an unbelievable job today, and especially the Finland players are trying to get in front of me all night, but, our defense has been key since the start, and they played real well again tonight.
All right, Sunday, one more game. What do you guys concentrate on? What are you thinking about?
We're going to do the same thing we've been doing all the time, and that's heart, character, and desire, and we're going for the gold.
Heart, character, and desire. Corey Hirsch, the winning goaltender for Team Canada. Go ahead.
Hey, Mom and Dad, just like to say, I don't know, they keep giving it to me for not saying hi, so hey, Mom and Dad and my brother, we're going for the gold.
That's the way to do it, and CTV will have the gold medal game involving Canada Sunday. Should be a great one.
fries are yours now at Harvey's. Golden, delicious, hot, and crispy free fries with the purchase of a drink, and any mouth-watering Harvey's charbroiled sandwich topped just the way you like it. They say the best things in life are free. Now, the best fries in life are free. Hurry and scoop your free fries at Harvey's because they won't be free for long.
Yeah, we make you spoiled, the charbroiled.
With lunch or brunch or during dinner with Breton, you're on a winner. Everyone knows anything goes.
Breton goes with super cold cuts with cheddar or with tea. They go with salad and peanut butter. Yet when you're feeling la-di-da, they also go with caviar.
With meals or snacks or just when you relax, Breton is what we confidently propose. Anything goes.
Tell us what goes with Breton, and you could win a trip to the Almond Beach Club, Barbados.
There's a wild new ride at Disneyland, and it's out of control. Moving, spinning, swerving, sliding, and it never stops. Well, almost never. It's the new Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin in Mickey's Toontown. You're in control. You're out of control. But can you escape the dreaded dips? Head for Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin, a wild new ride at Disneyland.
It's the weekend, and this man has lost his traveler's checks. And so has he. He bought the first traveler's checks he was offered, while this man insisted on American Express. So while this man would get a refund, but not quite yet, he just called the people at American Express, while he had to be patient. American Express can hand-deliver your refund to over 600 million locations around the world, virtually anywhere there's a phone. American Express traveler's checks. Insist on them.
It will be Canada against either Sweden or Russia. Sunday, gold medal game, 9:15 a.m. Eastern, 6:15 on the West Coast, the final day of the Winter Olympics.
Free fries are yours now at Harvey's. Golden, delicious, hot, and crispy free fries with the purchase of a drink, and any mouth-watering Harvey's charbroiled sandwich topped just the way you like it. They say the best things in life are free. Now, the best fries in life are free. Hurry and scoop your free fries at Harvey's because they won't be free for long.
Yeah, we make you spoiled, the charbroiled.
I have a blind date tonight, and you know what they say about first impressions. Do I reveal my nutritious, ready-for-commitment side with 100% whole wheat, or do I let loose the fun-loving Mr. Mini-Wheat with my great-tasting light frosting? I really want her to like me.
Then show her both sides, Mr. Mini-Wheat.
You think so?
Yeah, show her everything a Mini-Wheat from Kellogg's has got, and she'll be back for more.
She'll never leave my side.
Well, now, Mr. Mini-Wheat.
She'll be my true love forever. Oh.
Let's not get carried away.
Closed captioning for the Olympic Games is brought to you by Canadian Tire.
This is it, the most awesome music collection of the year. It's Awesome 3, and it's chillin'. Awesome 3 from Polytel, featuring Duran Duran. Hits from Gabrielle, Salt and Pepper, Tony, and Apache Indian. 14 of the hottest tracks anywhere on one awesome collection. Awesome 3 from Polytel on cassette or compact disc and in stores now.
See four-time world champion Kurt Browning, two-time Olympic silver medalist Brian Orser, Olympic gold medalist Christy Yamaguchi. This is your once-in-a-lifetime opportunity where you'll see a cast of Canadian world and Olympic champions together for one night only. Sun Life Stars on Ice, presented by Eaton. April 27th, Northlands Coliseum. Sponsored by Sun Life, Eaton's American Express, and Lada. Tickets available now at the Coliseum box office and all Ticketmaster. The all-new Sun Life Stars on Ice.
It was kind of a political issue, too. It was very important that Canada do well in these Olympics, and that was brought to mind in many, many countries that we visited by the embassies. And certainly we had to be guarded as reference to the temperament of play, and there were a lot of internal pressures. A lot of people living in Canada, I'm sure, weren't even aware of the 1952 Olympic Games. Those that were competing in it were quite aware of it, but for the most part, it was a ceremony that went on, and it was a happening for 10 days, and you came home and you almost had to tell the story. And I think that was due basically because there were no TV. And the reports coming back were strictly in the newspaper or on radio. Well, we got to get back on track. 1952 to 1994 is a long time, so we've got to start thinking gold. And I'm convinced in my own mind that we still have the best hockey players in the world right here in Canada. Just the fact that we got along so well. And when you spend 3.5 months together in close quarters, as we did, you had to be a pretty good group of fellas, and I'm very proud to be part of that whole organization. I thought they were a wonderful bunch of guys, and we still stay in contact, and thank God they're all still alive today.
The unrequited dream, 42 years, Canada just might accomplish it on Sunday in the gold medal game. 5-3 win over Finland. Well, we're back in the Hammer Olympic Amphitheater getting ready for the final medals to be presented for the women's figure skating competition. Who will win is anybody's guess. It's all up in the air. There has been a lot of hype this week, a lot of pressure, of course. Tanya Harding's story has been well documented. A new development. Harding broke her skate lace if you were with us earlier, and she had to go out and re-skate. However, José Chouinard had to go on immediately after Tanya Harding, and she had to come on a little bit earlier than expected. Let's go back now and show you José's skate.
Her nerves prior to an early start. Tanya Harding, who was originally slated to skate prior to José, had problems with her boots. She ended up crying about 30 seconds into her program when the boot snapped. She went to the referee and was given permission to skate at the end of this group. José was then immediately forced onto the ice to begin her program. She's conducted herself just in the first few seconds that her name was called with extreme grace and calm.
Obviously, this having an effect on José having to come out. It was very chaotic around here, and everybody here wants her to do well. It was almost like an unfair situation for José. She's got to pull it together.
We are live with the women's free final.
Performance with the fall on the triple flip at the beginning and the double loop, which should have been a triple. Triple sow cow. She has a second triple Lutz planned. This could make a big difference for her to move up the ladder.
She is 8 after the technical.
And she turned it into a double. Just a victim of such unusual circumstances with the Tonya Harding incident here, with the having to be forced on the ice so soon.
And the Tonya Harding nightmare continues to affect skating everywhere tonight for José Chouinard.
You know, it all happened so fast with the incident with Tonya, and then suddenly José's on the ice, and she's obviously trying to get her thoughts together, trying to get her focus back.
When something like that happens, a skater instantly panics. Things get out of order.
That's right. This was the first triple Lutz, and she managed to hang on to it and get into the double toe loop right here, right away. And I thought at this point she was back on track. Triple Salchow was just fine. Nice, tight spinning position in the air. And this was the final triple toe loop. She didn't get all the way around it. And she blocked herself right in there.
She had hoped so desperately to turn things around from the trend that seemed to be happening to her here in Lillehammer. In Prague last year, she had an awesome technical program and then bombed in the long program.
She was hoping to turn things around here.
And it just doesn't get any easier for José Chouinard, our Canadian champion. Artistic impression marks a little higher. She is in first place. A real fight for José Chouinard. More skating when we return.
4-5-6-5-5. Thank you.
With lunch or brunch or during dinner with Brenton, you're on a winner. Everyone knows anything goes.
Brenton goes with super cold cuts with cheddar or with tea. They go with salad and peanut butter. Yet when you're feeling la-di-da, they also go with caviar.
With meals or snacks or just when you relax, Brenton is what we confidently propose. Anything goes.
Tell us what goes with Brenton, and you could win a trip to the Almond Beach Club, Barbados.
Okay, these two guys walk into a bar. Ouch! A bar? Okay, no. New material. Get it?
First came the insult. Then came the injury. But when it came to taking hostages...
Wow. I suppose you'll use this drama as a reason to have another affair.
We're just going over and get it over with.
Hasn't he suffered enough?
Shows me because I was alone. Shut up!
Hijacked parents.
Sit down and give me
Dennis Leary.
You know what this family needs? A mute.
The Ref. Sneak preview March 5th.
You're looking at one Canadian.
at a time when small business owners run 98% of our businesses and employ 1 in 3 Canadians. To Royal Bank, his business is a cornerstone of the economy. That's why we've lowered his service charges by 10% for at least a year. A small break for small business. If it helps even one, it's worth it. After all, we got to be Canada's largest bank, one customer at a time.
With Jose Chouinard, this wasn't meant to be this Winter Olympics for you, was it?
I don't think so either. I'm lucky I still have Worlds. I'm tired of staying next one, but I guess I did it all year, so this wasn't the one, and I wish I would have done it here, maybe instead of earlier in the season. I was ready for this competition, maybe too ready. I was hoping so much.
Yeah, a lot of people were for you as well. Tell me about the Tanya Harding thing backstage. Did that throw you off at all, having to be pressed into action the way you were?
Well, I was minded and prepared to go after her, and we were even talking earlier that, you know, if she gets a lot of flour or if she gets another kind of attention, I don't know, we were ready of keeping the focus there, but all of a sudden nothing of that happened. Like, she just got off the ice. It came sooner than I thought, so I tried to not to rush, just slow and just go when I was ready. But I think I was. It would have been better wait when I was prepared to do it.
Quickly, is this your last Olympics?
Yes.
Well, we've had a lot of great Canadian championship memories. Good luck at the Worlds.
Thank you.
Jose.
Just watching Yuka Sato from Japan in practice, you appreciate what a fabulous technical skater she is. If she could just match that technique with some charismatic magic on the ice, she would be unbeatable.
She has a great technique in her stroking, which sometimes is overlooked quite often. Triple Lutz is the first jump. There it is. I bet you she was wishing she had that on the technical program. A bit of a struggle on that triple flip. Interpretation to the music, very light, and she's convincing us that she's having a nice time out there.
choreography over the last several years. She's been doing a lot of training in Ottawa with Peter Dunfield, Elizabeth Manley's old coach.
And a lot of the same qualities, too, particularly that triple sow cow. Great flow on this footwork. Just seems to skim across the ice. Here it is.
Japan, doing it not just for herself, not just for her country, but for her parents too. Both her mom and dad were Olympians in figure skating. Her dad in 1964, her mom in 1968.
A much better skate for Yuka compared to the technical program the other night. She just seemed to have a different quality tonight and just a real lightness and
confidence.
That's exactly it.
You knew when she went up in the air that she was going to come down
on her feet.
On the right place. The crowd really acknowledging a great skate too. It's been a tough night, a lot of falls.
She is the first of all the skaters to have such flow and speed on the ice. Just a great quality to every single stroke.
She doesn't really consider herself a jumper, you know. She says, I'm more speed, I like doing the steps. The jumps were terrific.
And she flew right into this triple sow cow. No problem.
And where a lot of skaters ignore the finer details of some of the simplest things, like the spiral, for instance, which may be one of the first elements you ever learn back in group lessons, she incorporates it into difficult maneuvers,
like the triple loop. Watch the footwork here. I was mentioning earlier how she just seems to skim across the ice, perfect control, utilizing all of the edges.
And all of the ice surface. It went from end to end. The spin's also very good. The last back scratch spin, awesome. With her coach Peter Dunfield, and on your right, her dad, Nubo Sato. Best marks tonight so far.
5-7. Thank you.
And excellent artistic impression marks for Yuka Sato of Japan, and she jumps to the top of the pack, leading José Chouinard of Canada, who at this moment is second.
Artistic impression, 5-6, 5-5, 5-6, 5-6, 5-7, 5-6, 5-7, 5-7, 5-6.
Tanya Harding backstage tightening her skate lace. After her initial warm-up, she went back into her dressing room, apparently tightened her skate, broke her lace. There was a delay. She came back on the ice, tried to skate. It didn't work. She broke down, talked to the judges. The judges said they will allow her to go back in the dressing room, get the skate repaired, then come back and skate after the flight. Tanya Harding now getting ready to skate, so she will continue with what she calls her Olympic dream.
Yes, she is back. A very pressure-filled evening, and once again, the Tanya Harding story continues to affect figure skating and a lot of the competitors that had to be pushed earlier in the program because of her withdrawal at that moment. A most unusual decision made by the referee. Usually a skater only has 2 minutes to fix whatever is necessary and report to the ice. Seems to me she was given a little special consideration.
She seems to have a real focus from the time she left her coach to right now. No hesitation in her eyes at all.
She was given the option of picking up the program where she stopped or starting again. Wisely, she chose the latter, to start from the beginning in the hope she will get that triple Lutz she missed the first time through.
And the triple Lutz is the very first jump. She goes in with tremendous speed. There, it was perfect this time. Coming up next, the only woman attempting a triple axel in the competition. Here it comes. She turned it into a single. Not a successful jump for her this week. Probably a little hesitation going into it. Boy, she was back with that triple flip, though. Section of her program, Tanya seems to be running out of a little bit of steam. One more chapter closed for Tanya Harding.
Well, in my mind, her journey is over. This is the end of the biggest non-event in Olympic history.
Probably a big relief, particularly with all that's gone on. Nancy Kerrigan, of course, watching.
Waiting to take the ice. Her warm-up is coming up.
Very unusual evening for Tanya and for some of the others with this problem with the skate. She's been hounded with a lot of problems such as that.
Injuries.
Her dress came apart once and she had to stop once her blade came off. This is the triple Lutz, though. It was a textbook. It was very high, nice tight position in the air. Great flow coming out.
Huge.
This was to be the triple axel. She seemed to put the brakes on right in here. And ultimately, it had to turn into a single. Triple flip once again. Like the Lutz, it's the same takeoff, different edge. Just fine.
So the hard triple jumps, with the exception of the axel, got very well done. Some of the simpler ones,
like the triple sow cow here, she had to put her foot down. Obviously very excited about these marks.
Rewarded for the difficult jumps, but I didn't think there was much of a program there.
If you take the jumps out of the program, you have to really you take a look at what's left. And that's always a good test as to how the program, the strength of it is, the quality, the style.
Tanya Harding moves into second place behind Yuka Sato, and she is still smiling despite everything.
With lunch or brunch or during dinner with Brenton, you're on a winner. Everyone knows anything goes.
Brenton goes with super cold cuts with cheddar or with tea. They go with salad and peanut butter. Yet when you're feeling la-di-da, they also go with caviar.
With meals or snacks or just when you relax, Brenton is what we confidently propose. Anything goes.
Tell us what goes with Brenton, and you could win a trip to the Almond Beach Club, Barbados.
Snow. Slippery, smooth, cold, wonderful. People eat it. Our goal is really to deliver memories. I think that people absolutely are looking for unique experiences. The American Express Membership Rewards Program allows you to dream a little bit, like skiing here at Blackcomb or going off to London to the theater. Hey, why not live a little?
Use your points at Hughes Resorts and other places that are close to heaven.
No matter how early you get up, there's a place that's always fresh and ready for you. Your neighborhood, Tim Hortons, where the coffee's always 20 minutes fresh.
Up early, Bob?
And the donuts and muffins and cookies are made right in the kitchen.
Careful, it's hot.
Because at Tim Hortons, always fresh is a promise we always keep. And it's all about dedication. But then, you know all about that.
You're looking at one Canadian. Like 10 million others, she now owns a home. And like 5 million, she has a mortgage. To most, she's an average Canadian just trying to make ends meet. But to Royal Bank, she's the reason we introduced a new money-saving mortgage called Rate Capper. True, we have 8 million other customers, but we got to be Canada's largest bank, one customer at a time.
Well, the first time we've seen any real emotion from you through all of this mess during a broken skate lace. Tell us about this, what happened, and your feelings during it all.
Well, my lace broke on right after the warm-up, and we tried to fix it and got a lace that was too small. But we tried to go out, and it just wasn't tight enough to do anything. It didn't support me.
It wasn't long enough.
Yeah, it wasn't
have
long
all
enough.
the holes filled.
Yeah,
Every other hole was filled, and
Yeah.
there's no support.
You were absolutely shattered when you came through, and after you tried your first jump and you came back to the judges, what did you say to them when you went up to them?
I don't really remember.
She would have broken her ankle if she had skated.
Yeah, it was very easily that I could have broken my ankle, very easy. I mean, there was 3 holes up on the top that still were not laced. I mean, I laced the second one from the bottom, and then the very top one on the outside, and I mean...
But you're okay.
At the end of your program, what was the first thought that went through your head after what you've been through and everything else? What did you think?
Thank you, God, for letting me, you know, be here and participate in the games, and just for letting me finish the program with you know, dignity.
Yeah. Has it all been worth it?
definitely.
All right.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Tonya, since they were for French television.
It is the final group of free skaters in the women's free skate final inside the Olympic Amphitheater. This competitor is Lu Chen, carrying the hopes of 1 billion countrymen to be the first Olympic skating medalist for China.
A great technician. Lu Chen has been criticized in the past for artistic impression. She has improved so much in that area, and also with the speed of the program. Second triplets is planned next. Bingo, she is on.
Lu Chen was fourth after the technical program. A little bit disappointed. She had been world bronze medalist for 2 years running.
That was the only mistake so far, putting her hand down on the triple flip. She seemed to lose a little bit of momentum and flow coming out of it. Wow, being the first skater in this group, she is setting a very high standard.
That was 4 minutes of magic, except for that one tiny slip on the triple flip. for Lu Chen, representing the People's Republic of China. She's still a baby. She's only 17 years of age. Had a lot of growth in the last year or so, and her coaches have been worried whether, in fact, the growth was going to cause problems with the triple jumps.
Well, I did some shows with her this year, and while she was there, she trained harder than anyone, constantly working on the triples, having some problems with the flowers here right now. Here's the triplets. A little bit of a lean coming out. This was a planned triple. She turned it into a double. Probably a wise decision. Triple loop, textbook. Split jump right into the triple toe loop. Nice tight revolutions in the air. She has a sense of where she is all the time. And finally, the triple flip where she put her hand down. She got into a lean right from the very start and stayed on that lean and had to stop it with her hand.
The marks for Lu Chen from China, very high. Giving warning to everyone yet to skate. Nancy Kerrigan will be the next competitor. Lu Chen moving into first place with 5 skaters remaining.
All you need is you.
There's a wild new ride at Disneyland, and it's out of control. Moving, spinning, swerving, sliding, and it never stops. Well, almost never. It's the new Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin in Mickey's Toontown. You're in control. You're out of control. But can you escape the dreaded dips? Head for Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin, a wild new ride at Disneyland.
Coverage of the 17th Olympic Winter Games on CTV is brought to you in part by AGT. We go further than long distance.
Now there's a flower that blooms for 45 days. Glade Plug-ins Tulip.
Plug it in, plug it in.
Refills freshen not for 30, but 45 days.
Plug it in, plug it in.
Glade Plug-ins in Tulip.
Plug it in.
Fresh from Glade.
No matter how old your furniture may be, keep it looking young with new Pledge with cleansing conditioners. For beautiful wood you won't get with regular dusting. New Pledge for beautiful wood every time you dust.
Dave Thomas has a dream of competing in pairs figure skating and winning gold.
Hi, Bertie. I'm looking for a skating partner. What do you say?
Oh, Dave.
Well, I did win a gold medal for figure skating in 1992.
But no pairs?
No.
Well, let's have lunch anyway.
Got a full afternoon? Get a Wendy's $3.99 old-fashioned quarter-pound single combo made fresh to order with biggie fries and a medium drink.
Hey, God! You still looking for a partner?
Oh, boy.
The single combo, just $3.99.
CTV's exclusive Canadian coverage of Lillehammer 94 is brought to you by Ford, official sponsor of the 1994 Canadian Olympic team. Kellogg's. Get your day off to a great start with Kellogg's. Petro-Canada. Petro-Canada continues to support our Canadian athletes through the Petro-Canada Olympic Torch Scholarship Fund.
Nancy Kerrigan, her Olympic dream coming to an end. A skater who has tried to shrug off this enormous controversy, this terrible story, stepping out of the shadows and now into the Olympic spotlight. She is first after the technical. I imagine she has fairly strong memories of last year in Prague, where at this time she was also first at the World Championships. And then disaster struck.
She's had some very positive moves this year where she's been working with a sports psychiatrist. Seems to help. She's had a great year so far, very consistent, very much on her game. Mistake, that was to be a triple. She turned it into a double. You can see by the expression on her face, she's a little disappointed with that.
She won't stay first if she continues to check out of triples.
She's back on track. Triple toe combination. Extremely difficult.
In the Canadian dollar, when we're not involved directly in this very specific dispute about one part of the Japanese market, specifically the Tokyo-Nagoya cellular telephone market, indicates what can happen to our markets in Canada because of what goes on between the U.S. and Japan. Directly, no, we're not affected, but what's really going on here is that this is a symbol and an example of where we might go across a wider range of markets, depending on what actions the U.S. decides to take at the end of this 30-day period, and it indicates that the U.S. is prepared to adopt basically a new policy, a get-tough policy that we are not going to settle for what President Clinton bluntly calls phony agreements with the Japanese, meaning trade agreements that they don't live up to.
All right, Terry, thanks very much for the update.
Thank you.
And when we come back, Judgment Day for a Canadian hockey player in Italy.
Who would have believed we could get life insurance at our age?
Even with my heart condition, I didn't need a medical to be insured.
And they didn't ask us any health questions. No salesperson came to our house.
With Norwich Union's Guaranteed Life Insurance Plan, if you're between 50 and 75, your acceptance is guaranteed with no medical exam or health questions. So call now for your free personal enrollment kit. It answers any questions you may have in easy-to-understand terms. Your guaranteed life insurance can cost as little as $20 a month. Depending on your age and the premium you choose, you could be covered for up to $25,000. And in case of a fatal accident, your benefit triples, up to $75,000.
It never hurts to have a little extra protection.
And a little extra money to leave our favorite nephew. He's always been just like a son to us.
I'll be 65 next October. And my company's group life policy ends when I retire. But with the Guaranteed Life Insurance Plan, I'll have the affordable protection I need, and my premiums will never go up.
Call for your free personal enrollment kit today. If you're between 50 and 75, you're automatically approved for coverage.
When my husband passed away with no insurance, the funeral costs alone left me in a very tight spot. But now that I'm protected, I don't have to worry about being a burden to my family.